Hello everyone, my name is Jordan Applin and this is my Teaching Philosophy Ignite presentation for CI 302. I'm going to start my presentation out with a quote. "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world," said by Nelson Mandela. I feel that this quote really fits my teaching philosophy well because I believe that education gives every child a chance to make their life what they want it to be and give themselves room to grow. Innovation, I think, is a very important part of education because if our students aren't being innovative and if teachers aren't being innovative, then there isn't a lot of progress going on in the classroom. Really innovative activities are really beneficial for students because it keeps them engaged and interested in school, and we want to prevent students from being burnt out. And students get burnt out by having to memorize a lot, have a lot of homework, and are being really overly occupied by the actual grade that they're getting. So by being innovative, students are thinking and developing in ways that are kind of disguised. Self-exploration is another really important thing to me as far as education. How are students learning information? Are students asking critical questions? And is there a higher level of thinking involved? Students should be learning things partly with the help of a teacher and partly on their own. And it's the job of the teacher to set up tools in order for students to have self-exploration and to find out information on their own. Engaging activities equals more interest in school. Students decide at a young age how they feel about school, and because of this, I want to keep them engaged and active in their own education. This can be done by learning through different methods, and engaging activities disguise learning once again and keep students interested and wanting to come back to school for the rest of their lives. Problem solving is very important. Students need to use logic, outside resources, information, and that they already know to solve problems. Another component to this is that students will be problem solvers for the rest of their lives, and this is a really important thing to know how to do for the future and in future jobs. So reflection is a necessity for success. Without reflection, we never truly learn from our mistakes and our findings. And if we're not reflecting, we're not asking ourselves critical questions, then learning isn't going as deep as it should be. Assessments are very important. Using a variety of assessments to gain knowledge on students and not waiting for the summative or formal assessment to gauge student learning. We should be using different assessments, and we should be assessing students from the beginning so that we know how we need to scaffold their learning to help them and give them the help that they need. Assessments are a really important tool for teachers to use to see how students are doing and also to reflect on their own teaching and see if what they're doing is successful or if something needs to change. Classroom climate is incredibly important. Students need to feel safe, accepted, a valued part of a team, productive, trusted, open to new ideas, culturally aware, and diverse. Personal attributes in the classroom are vital in the success of the classroom as a whole. Each student has something important to bring to the table, and in order to make sure students are aware of this and open to other ideas and talents, they have to have all of these above qualities listed. The classroom has to feel safe and accepted and trusted and diverse in order for students to be willing and comfortable bringing their skills and ideas to the table. And the classroom climate can really make or break a student experience in a classroom. I know we've all had very great experiences of classroom climate, and we've all had really poor ones that left us feeling neglected or that we didn't reach our full potential. And this picture says, while children are studying to be unique, the world around them is trying by all means to make them like everyone else. And it's important that students know that it's okay to be different and that everyone has different skills, different experiences, and that makes our classroom as a whole better. Intelligence plus character, that's the goal of education, says Martin Luther King Jr. I'm not only developing the intelligence and skills of my students, but I'm developing good and productive future citizens. If students do not have these social skills, they will not fully succeed. And character is just as important as skill sets. If students lack the important social skills, it's going to be hard for them to be successful in their future careers. Differentiation. As a good teacher, I will meet the needs of every single student in my classroom. Every student has their own potential. It's my job to help each student reach that full potential, regardless of ability or prior knowledge. regardless of if my student has a disability, or things going on at home that prevent them from being able to focus or perform at the highest level. I need to help them reach their full potential on an individual basis, and this goes for gifted students as well. Those gifted students deserve to be pushed just like the other students do. Technology is a very important part of a successful classroom. Seamless integration that supports student learning. We are using technology to support student learning. This means that teaching about the technology and using the technology in the classroom has to be occurring. Our world is constantly changing, and in order for our students to be ready for the real world, we need to get them ready for technology as well. And students need to be prepared for the future to be using technology on a day-to-day basis to help them with many different things. Lifelong learners, my students need to learn the basic skills that they can build off of. And as being an educator for younger students, it's really important that I help them learn these basic skills that they can learn off of, and that they have enough of an interest in education that they want to be lifelong learners and constantly learning new things and expanding their mind and growing as a human being. And I need to be a positive role model for my students. They have things going on at home. I can't control that, but what I can control is their experience that they have in my classroom. And they may not have a role model to look up to at home. I will provide my students a healthy and responsible adult in their life for support. And I will be a role model, and I hope to be a hero to my students every single day. And I strive to keep learning more, and I'll learn more once I get in a classroom and I have my own classroom. But if I expect my students to be lifelong learners, I need to be a lifelong learner. So I know that I will be a wonderful teacher. I can't wait to put my teaching philosophy to use with my future students.